I'm Lauren with Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be talking about the WANDRD packing cubes, which I've been testing for the last 2 weeks. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up so that we can keep making content that helps you find the best gear for you. Let's dive in. So starting off with the materials, it keeps it pretty simple with just a 70D nylon and then this mesh on the top here. So we also have YKK zippers for each packing cube. And these are the 3 different sizes. We have the small, the medium, and the large, obviously, as you can tell by the size. And these actually size scale up to each other. So if you look at this with the medium, 2 mediums equal the large, 2 smalls equal the medium, 4 smalls equal the large. So they can stack really nicely on top of each other if you do have a lot, or if you do have more of them. Say you only want the large and the medium, you can just put them side by side, and then you got this nice little unit that you can put in your travel backpack. So it's kind of up to you based off of the sizing that you need. I found between these 3, it did cover pretty much all the bases of what I needed. So I'm gonna go through kind of what I ended up putting in each one. Starting off with this small one here. I use this one for mostly like undergarments and things like that, but right now I have bathing suits in them. So I actually just went on a trip where, I had a little bit of a beach day and I wanted a few different options. So I brought a few different things with me, and that worked out really nicely. And then it also kept everything separate. So it doesn't smell like lake water. It doesn't smell like, chlorine in these over here. Although there is a separate compartment that you could technically put them in, which I'll get to in a little bit. But with this small one here, it's pretty straightforward. There's just a little handle, nylon handle, kind of on the same for all of these here for quick and easy grabs. It's really low profile, so it doesn't actually get caught on anything in the bag, but it is, a quick grab. Unlike the other ones that do have compression zippers, this one is the only one that does not. So I think it could have benefited from it. I know right now it's super bulky. Like I pretty much packed this out to the max, and you can see how wide it is. This one is less packed, and you can see that it's a flatter profile, and then this one is pretty packed, but with the compression it does have that flatter profile as well. So a lot of packing cubes that are like this small size don't have that just because they are so small, but it would have been a nice feature to see, I think. So you've got these zipper pulls here, super easy to grab on all of them here, and then a little bit of branding on this here. So it feels super durable. I didn't have any issues with too many blemishes or seams coming apart. You can see it's really kind of pushing it to its edge right here, and then there's a little bit of a mark there, but in general these packing cubes have held up pretty well, and I've shoved them in a bag a couple of different times, and they've stood up to it. So looking at this medium here, this one I used for mostly, it's summer right now, so we traveling with more like tank tops, so keeping that sort of thing in here worked out very well for me, just because it is a little bit smaller and it was easier for me to roll or fold and put things in here. And then if I did want to pack it and have a little bit more room, this is the compression zipper that's on the medium and the large, but not the small. So this opens up when you're packing, and it does give you a fair amount of space. So if you open this up here, you can see that this whole section here between these 2 seams is what actually compresses down. So it was really easy to pack this thing out because it is that clamshell opening as well. Everything just kind of fit in there like a nice secure little bucket. And then I was able to just zip it up and then use the compression zipper to close things up. As most compression zippers do, this material could get caught. So what I ended up doing was just following my fingers more than anything. And then that pushed it down as I was zipping. So it is a little bit of a technique, but if it does get caught, it's pretty easy to fix it just on the fly. And then looking at the large here, it's basically the same thing as the medium, just obviously about 2 times as big. So this one here I used for jeans or thicker sweaters like this one here, t-shirts, anything like that. So same deal, opens up this way, and then you've got a fair amount of space. All this mesh here makes it super easy to see what's inside as well. It is pretty thin, but it does feel very durable. So you can see, I'll bring that up a little bit closer. The autofocus to work a little bit for me. And then same thing with the handle. And then this compression zipper here, which adds a fair amount of extra space. So I do have this sweater here that's bulkier, and it fits in really nicely with all of that added space between those 2 seams there. And same with this, you know, I have a couple of different tops. I have a pair of jeans down there. You know, this is 2, 3, 4 days worth of outfits, depending on, you know, how often you switch up your bottoms and things like that. There's a lot of variation with it. So one thing I do want to note though, I can take this out to kind of show you. So on the back of this packing cube is a separate like laundry pocket. So it unzips diagonally here with the same zipper pulls. And this is where you'll put anything that's dirty, obviously. It's a laundry pocket. So you can stick things, your undergarments, you can stick things from other cubes in here, just kind of as you see fit. It's a nice way to get things that could get a little bit smellier away from all of your clean clothes. Like for example, if I didn't want to put a used bathing suit back in with the clean ones, I could put it in here. So just keeping everything organized that way. But the one thing to note is that it doesn't have a lot of give between the 2 pockets. So this seam here is only attached in one place. So what ends up happening is that, you know, this ends up expanding into this side of the cube as you fill it up, which isn't a huge deal because that's how most of them would work. However, what problem I ran into was in the general packing phase. So before I even leave for my trip, right, I don't have any dirty laundry. I don't have anything that I'm gonna wanna put in this pocket back here. So this material is just like loose. Like you can tell that after I, you know, had my hands in there and then zipped it back up, this is essentially an air pocket. So you do have to kind of smush it down, organize it a little bit. Right now the compression zippers all the way open as well, so it's pretty floppy. Unlike this one where it had a little bit more structure with that bucket to fill it up, this one here is a little bit more difficult. So it does, like I said, have a fair amount of space here, but I found this to be a little bit frustrating because I couldn't get it to lay flat. And you can't really like fold it any particular way. It really just kind of hangs out in there. So it was the kind of thing where, you know, I'd put in this pair of pants right here, and then I would put in this jacket, and then it was able to hold that square kind of rectangular structure a little bit better. And then I could go in and fill it the rest of the way, and it felt more secure. I just found myself messing with that bottom layer a lot, and it got a little bit overwhelming a couple of times, just because if you're packing in a rush, it can get a little frustrating. So zipping this guy up this way, and then going to the compression zipper. There's this pull tab as well for easy grabs to get it started. And then the same deal, just kind of follow your fingers, which pushes the material in as you're zipping. And there you go. Pretty compact. Pretty similar sizes as well. This one obviously is a little bit less full, but it can pack full similar to this one here. So you do have a little bit of room to play with the sizing depending on what you need. But overall, I found that they slotted together really nicely, and the sizing that I did have worked for what I needed. I didn't feel like one was too big or too small or too awkward or anything. The sizing was pretty on par for what I was looking for. So there you have it, the WANDRD packing cubes. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next video.